do our sports on Thursday, but we need to do a little draft recap with our guy Pep. What's up, Pep?
Hey, my favorite part of the NFL draft, and I'm hoping you guys are going to agree with me. We had some great picks. A lot of NFL teams got better. But what I enjoyed the most, I think, was seeing inside everyone's living rooms and like what everything looked like and what their living room situation was and what they had around. I mean, it was kind of interesting to see inside everyone's little, private quarters.
Yeah, did you know that Cliff Kingsbury was like Tony Montana?
His backyard is awesome.
The big thing on the internet was, if you saw that picture, what do you think he does for a living? And a lot of people were like, cocaine.
Dude, I mean, like everybody, think about these, I don't know, pick a prominent NFL head coach, I don't know, like Andy Reid or Mike McCarthy, like pretty reasonable, like a desk and a computer. They got their phone out. But Cliff Kingsbury looked like he was on some 5-star vacation in Dubai or something,
The only one who could outdo him was, of course, Jerry Jones on his $250 million yacht.
That's a flex right there.
Dude, when he popped up, I looked at my wife and I'm like, I think he's on a spaceship. Like, where is he? And then I went on Twitter and I saw someone said it was his yacht, and I'm like, okay, that makes sense because that does not look like a normal house.
It is so true, but we have to talk about it. Let's talk about Tua. Tua, baby.
Miami.
Yeah. So Tua Tagovailoa goes to the Dolphins at number 5. And again, remember, guys, he should have been the number 1 pick. Remember last year the Dolphins were tanking for Tua, thinking they were going to be the number 1 pick because the Dolphins were really bad. But they're actually not as bad as we thought. And they picked at number 5, and they still got Tua. So I think the Dolphins got a real steal. Nothing against Joe Burrow, but, I mean, how do you guys feel about Tua?
I am a Tua fan, so I think he's a left-handed Russell Wilson.
I'm not big on any of the quarterbacks this year. I don't know what it is. I'm not too big on Tua.
So we have Burrow, who obviously went to Cincinnati, and then we have Tua. And then what about right here in our backyard, the Chargers? Going Herbie, baby. Justin Herbert with the rocket for a right arm.
Yeah, the University of Oregon Duck coming down to be the next franchise quarterback for the LA Chargers. And, I knew the Chargers were going to go quarterback because – well, all the mock drafts said it, but think about it. We talked about this, I think, just yesterday, that all of the available quarterbacks out there, like Cam Newton, like Jameis Winston, like Andy Dalton, the Chargers haven't made a play for any of them. So it looked like they were kind of showing their hand the whole time that they were going to go quarterback in the draft.
Now, does he start, or do we see Tyrod Taylor start the season? What do you think?
I think they still go Taylor for now, but listen, when you look at the teams, let's say the Chargers picked at 6. Let's take the top 6 NFL teams. Of those 6 teams, which teams are built to win now? Like, who has a good roster? The Chargers do.
Right.
Like, the Chargers can win now. Listen.
They do have a good roster.
Yeah, listen, they're going to be a good team. Now, how quickly can Justin Herbert acclimate and be the guy? I mean, time will tell, but they're built to win now. They've got a good roster, and that's the thing about Joe Burrow. Is Joe Burrow a really good quarterback? Yeah, but is he going to be able to be a good quarterback in the NFL? Listen, Cincinnati picked number 1 for a reason. They're not very good. Like, he might have a hard time. Like, Justin Herbert landed in the perfect spot with the Chargers because they can win right now.
I think they played it actually pretty well with Tyrod Taylor, perfect hand the torch over guy. He's kind of finishing his career off anyway.
Yes. I mean, think about it. If you would have brought in, let's say, Cam Newton's not coming in to be like the torchbearer to Justin Herbert. He's coming in to be the starter.
Yeah.
Now, we know the Rams didn't have a first-round pick, but the other team that is near and dear to the hearts of our SoCalers, the Las Vegas Raiders, started off with a receiver and a big one, too.
Yeah, Henry Ruggs III out of Alabama. And dude, Alabama and LSU are just chock full of skill position guys. Like, so many great receivers. And Henry Ruggs might be the fastest of them all. He goes to the Raiders. I think it was at number 12, which, if you're Derek Carr, the quarterback of the Raiders, you're sitting at home thinking, dude, it's going to be a fun season in Las Vegas, man. I'm going to have some weapons around me. And think about it, they got the great young running back last year. Now you got Ruggs. I mean, this is a good young team that they're building.
The fastest guy in the NFL goes to the Raiders. Al Davis is loving it up in heaven.
What other big moves were there in the first round going down?
What's that? Say that one more time for me, 40?
What other big moves were we looking at here in the first round?
Dude, my favorite, I think you guys love the social media memes as much as I do. My favorite was Jordan Love, the high school quarterback out of Bakersfield. He played at Utah State. He went to the Green Bay Packers I think it was at number 25 in the first round. And all the memes coming out of Aaron Rodgers, because he has said repeatedly the last couple of weeks that, man, the Green Bay Packers rarely draft skill guys in the first round. I'd love to get a skill guy because they're close. I mean, they were in the NFC Championship game. They're close, but they need receivers. They need skill guys. They got a great young running back. They need receivers. What do? They go and get a quarterback. Unbelievable.
And they're saying the similarities between from when Aaron Rodgers was drafted with Brett Favre as the quarterback versus when now the new rookies coming in with Aaron Rodgers, very similar in age.
Yeah, exactly. So now we get to see if Aaron Rodgers is going to do what Brett Favre did and said, "Hey, youngster, kiss my ass," or is going to say, "Come on in, young man. Let me show you how it's done."
Dude, no. If Aaron Rodgers learned one thing from Brett Favre, it's going to be the first thing you just said, Patrick. It's not going to be like, "Hey, dude, come on in. I'm going to tutor you for a year, then I'm going to turn the keys over." No, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, here, let me help you take my job.
Yeah, that is not, dude. How old's Aaron? 36, 37?
I think you're about right.
And I think he's kind of Tom Brady-ish in terms of keeping his body right and, doing all those things. He could still play for a long time here, but yeah, I don't think there's any chance that they say, "Okay, Aaron, this is your last year. You're going to pass the keys over to Jordan Love, and he's going to be okay with it." I don't think there's any way.
It does get exciting for us now, too, as kind of the big picks have kind of gone. But now we get to look to our IE boys who are going to show up in, the second and the third round and stuff. So that'll be kind of exciting for us.
Yeah, I mean, tonight, second and third round. So this is the time where we could see a couple of those Inland Empire guys. By chance, they're just big 8 league guys. That Corona Norco area, man, produces so many great high school football players. So they're all out of there. And don't forget about University of South Florida quarterback Blake Barnett from Santiago.
Yes.
I mean, his story was well documented. He committed to Notre Dame. He decommitted. Then he signed with Alabama. He was with Alabama. Then he went to Arizona State, and then he was at South Florida. He's bounced around. I think people forgot about him, but he was ranked higher than Josh Rosen. They were from the same class. He's good. I think he's going to have his name called. I don't think it's going to be tonight in the second or third, but I think by the end of this draft, by the time we get Saturday evening, I think Blake Barnett will be one of those as well.
See you guys. You get to enjoy it this weekend, and we can talk about it on Monday.
Second and third rounds going down tonight. It's all starting up 4 o'clock. ESPN. The Chargers will be the first one of our teams that we see selecting in the second round. We'll finally see the Rams show up on draft weekend, and then the Raiders have a trio of third round picks that you'll see today too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and how about those Eagles?
Yeah, we got to fumble that one. Yeah. Man, you talk about looking forward to a day for so long. You get to your pick, and there's 3 guys that you're looking at. You're like, you know what? They can take a big safety from Alabama. They can take a big interior linebacker. We haven't had one of those in many years. Or there's Jefferson, the big-time receiver, and we take a 5'10" speedy receiver that nobody's heard of out of TCU.
You never know what is going to happen, Pep. Look at the Seahawks. They picked a middle linebacker for Bobby Wagner. We're like, oh, okay.
Exactly. Right when you, as a fan, you're like, oh, I know what the team needs. I know what they're probably going to do. And then they go off and do something like that, and you're like, huh, who is that guy?
The draft. A little bit of something for us to chew on this weekend. Pep, we will catch you on Monday, man.
Yes, sir. See you guys. Enjoy the draft.
Thanks, Pep.
Thank you, guys. Have a great